So another foundational concept, very, very foundational concept in NARM, that I'm just going to introduce now and that we're going to come back to over and over again many times. That's our understanding of these two terms, child consciousness and adult consciousness. And child consciousness relates to the way that uh, how in order to survive our early childhood experiences, circumstances, and early trauma, we had to disconnect from ourselves. We had to disconnect from our core needs, from our emotions, from our authentic self-expression, from our desires, etc., etc. And that disconnection that was life-saving at the beginning, and we'll talk about it a lot more later, uh, that then, of course, over time, as the child grows up, will lead to a degree of disorganization and what we call fragmentation of the self, because it's for the child too dangerous to be in connection with their whole self if the environment doesn't support it. So we have to disorganize ourselves and we have to fragment ourselves as a survival strategy. And so child consciousness, come back to that term one more time, describes then a certain way of experiencing this present moment in our adult lives through this disconnection and disorganization of the self that's related to our early trauma and to our survival strategies that we use to manage that trauma. I hope that makes sense, right? So child consciousness means even right now in our adult experience, we experience this present moment through a filter of disconnection, we could say, with survival strategies and old trauma patterns. And just to clarify also, like when we use the term child consciousness in NARM, we don't do that in a judgmental kind of way. It's not like we're saying somebody is being childish or being immature or anything. It's not meant to be critical or pathologizing. It really just describes a certain way of experiencing reality through this particular old lens that we developed when we were very young. So then what do we mean when we refer to adult consciousness? So adult consciousness describes a way of experiencing the present moment through more organization and through more coherence of the self. That usually comes online once we have worked through some of our old patterns and once we have healed some of our old trauma-based patterns and our old survival strategies. Uh, right? So another way to put it is that uh, when we're experiencing the world more through child consciousness, then that means we're more in a state of disconnection from ourselves and from others. Whereas when we experience the world more through adult consciousness, we could say that we're more in a state of connection to ourselves and to others, to give it a very simple spin.